What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Go Tiger Pod. It's your boy, LA Chris. Just giving my real quick recap on the LSU Georgia State game, and I'm also going to expound and dive up a little deep into who's better, man, Joe Burrow or Jayden Daniels. And I'm going to give a little key talking points on why I think personally, and this is just subjective. This is, this at the end of the day, it's no real rubric on how to grade these two guys because they're so similar. But so let's dive into it, man. So last night we destroyed Georgia State. Deal with what a Power Five team was supposed to do. We did not. We dominated them. Matt House, man, you gotta get the fuck from down here, dog. You really got. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you got video footage of, or I don't know if you got Brian Kelly naked in the shower or whatever. You, dog. It is just abysmal the way that defense is playing down there, man. People still lining up in incorrect formations. Look at how we're fucking spaced off from the ball. Blown coverages, blown assignments. We letting fucking people blow passes. It's just atrocious, that fucking defense. Hopefully, man, you'll be alleviated from your duties at the end of the season. And let's get into it, man. Jayden Daniels, 400 something yards last night, man. Six touchdowns he threw for, and 8 accountable altogether for the team, man. He was perfect, man. If you don't see this guy being the fucking Heisman, then what are you doing, man? You just have a personal bias towards him. He's played against a bevy of ferocious defenses in the SEC, man. Florida State, Alabama, Missouri, Ole Miss. Man, he's playing against some fierce competition. But what I really want to get off into today is a lot of people have been comparing, as applied to the college CFB nuance of things. A lot of people have been comparing Jayden Daniels to Joe Burrow, which in one hand you can't compare him, and in another hand you can compare him. But it's totally subjective. If you just alleviate these guys and go for, game for game, you can point at, hey, Joe Burrow is, he was phenomenal, and but you guys to also keep things in context. We like to, as football fans, because we have an emotional sentiment to a player, or Joe Burrow broke a lot of records for LSU, man. Threw almost 6,000 yards in one season. Beat 7 of the top 10 teams. Capped it off with a Heisman. And he bought us a national championship in 2019 team. But we also gotta fucking keep it in context. As we know, defense wins championships. Jayden Daniels were devoid of that this season. He was devoid of that this season. He didn't have a fucking defense. I mean, you gotta think, man. Out of all those players on that 2019 team, man, you may have had like 4 or 5 of them that didn't go to the like 4 or 5 of them that didn't go on defense to the NFL. I mean, come on, man. You got to think our defense was pivotal against those games. I mean, all right, specifically speaking, case in point, in 2019 we played Auburn. We barely escaped against those guys. It was they were the number 9th team. We were the number 2 team in the country. We barely beat them 23-20. And against Alabama, we barely escaped. They would have had a minute in the game. Tua could have pulled it out. Injured Tua could have pulled it out. So that goes to show you, man, defense spoils everything on the opposing team. And you got to think, at that time, Alabama wasn't a fucking slouch. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Tua, Najee Harris, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs III. I mean, these guys had a Heisman winner, 2 high. I mean, come on, man. So it's no real rubric on how we're going to grade these guys here. So if I just go down to their junior season, so as you know, Joe Burrow, he didn't come there in 2019. He came there the year prior. He came there in 2018. So, I mean, if you look at it, if you compare his numbers and compare Jayden Daniels' numbers from when he first got there, Jayden Daniels, he wins that battle. In 2018, Joe Burrow had threw for 2,894 yards with a completion rate of 219. And he had his percentage of completions was 57.8, threw for 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 133.2 rating. Well, you look at Jayden Daniels' first year, he threw for 2,000 yards, 2,913 yards. He had a completion. He had a completion of 266, a completion percentage of 68.0. He threw for 17 one more touchdown than Burrow. He had 3 interceptions, 2 less than Burrow, and he had 144.5 QB rate. So he wins that battle by the numbers. And, not only that, LSU defense in 2018 was significantly better than the 2020 LSU defense. All right, so everybody knows the Cinderella year. Burrow threw for 5,671 yards. He completed for 2 passes. He had a percentage of his completions for 76.3, threw for 60 fucking touchdowns. That's crazy. I still think about that shit. 6 interceptions, and he had a QB rate of 202 yards. 202. So man, bro, but you got to keep everything in context, man. That year, Joe Burrow won the Heisman. Jamar Chase won the Biletnikoff. Grant Delpit won the Jim Thrope, and our line had the Joe Moore Award. We had the best offensive line. They give that every year to the FBS school with the best offensive line. Now, so let's go this year on pace because right now Jayden Daniels, he has one more game he has to play against Texas A&M. Right now, currently as we speak, Jayden Daniels has 3,577 yards. He completed 220 yards. Like I said, we got to keep everything in context. A lot of Joe Burrow yards came from dink and dunk, and he, where versus Jayden Daniels, he leads that category in yards over 20 per pass. So Jayden Daniels goes for the kill shot more in certain instances. He based on Joe damn offensive coordinator name Mike Denbrock. Oh man, I'm having a brain tumor right now. But so you can compare Steve Ensminger, our OC in 2019 to Mike Denbrock in 2023 with Joe Brady, and you have a bevy of talent surrounding you. Well, versus all you really have is Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. And Logan Diggs, he came in later, but he was hurt, and then he was hurt at the beginning of the season. Came in, then he got hurt. He's hurt, so we may not even see him again this year as well. As of currently, 2 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels has 36, and he has 1 less interception than Joe Burrow, and he has 208 a rate of a QBR rate of 208, which is 4 points better than Burrow's. So man, it's all like I said. It's the proof is in the pudding. Only thing I can say is Jayden Daniels is going to play. Jayden Daniels is going to play against Texas A&M this year. And perhaps a bowl game. Whereas Joe Burrow, he got to play against Texas A&M that year, and he got to play again in the SEC championship. He played against the Peach Bowl, which Oklahoma, and he destroyed them. Which you got to put everything in context. Oklahoma shouldn't have been in that fucking in that Peach Bowl. All college analysts said it at the time. Alabama should have been in there, and he played again in the national championship. So he had 3 more games tally up with the stats on Jayden Daniels. So we can possibly see Jayden Daniels could possibly throw for 4,000 yards this season, and he lost 3 games. And just man, this should be so fucking criminal what our defense has done to this young man's young man's Heisman candidacy, bro. It's just utterly fucking ridiculous, man. And I just can't wait to see Madhouse alleviated from his duties on defense, man. You got to think, bro. That 2019 defense protected us that year. We had Grant Delpit, Jacoby Stevens, Kerry Vincent Jr., Derek Stingley, Rashad Wallace, Michael Divinity, Kavion Chason, Jacoby Phillips, Christian Fuller, and Michael Baskerville, bro. These are just everybody went to the NFL with the exception of Kerry Vincent Jr. and Michael Baskerville. They were Kerry Vincent Jr. got drafted in the 7th round, I believe, and he's no longer in the. I think Denver didn't resign him. And Michael Baskerville, he went undrafted, but he still went to the NFL, and he's currently on the practice squad for the Chicago Bears. But you got to think, man, who on this fucking team on defense is going to the NFL with the exception of Hal Perkins and Mikael Wingo? I'm not going to even say Mason Smith because it just comes out, bro. He's not living up to his full potential and what we saw in his freshman year. 6'7", a behemoth of a guy, over 300 pounds, bro. Why are you not fucking body slamming people on the ground and penetrating these fucking little linemen who coming against you? On average, you're taller than most of the people you're going against, and you weigh them by 50 pounds. So, but man, like I said, this is significantly challenges that Jayden Daniels has to overcome. His defense really spoiled his candidacy for Heisman. I think he has it in the bag. I think, like I said, I think he has it in the bag, man. I think he has a good shot of winning it. I know he's getting invited to New York. Like I said, if Ricky Williams, Lamar Jackson, Tim Tebow, and RG3 won it, man, give it to Jayden Daniels. And all those people, I would choose Jayden Daniels. I would draft Jayden Daniels first if I wanted to start an NFL team, man. You can't tell me Lamar Jackson is better. That Louisville Lamar Jackson is better than JD5 right now. And I want to say, who did Lamar Jackson lose to that year he won it? He lost to LSU. So, but yeah, man, like I said, if we're going by the eye test, I mean, you can see that Joe Burrow has a better philosophy of the game. His footwork was a little better. But if we want to go to the electricity side of the game, who fit 2019 better? I will have to say JD5, man. JD5. I truly believe you give Jayden Daniels, Tyrone David Price, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Terrence Marshall Jr., Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. Fuck, that fucking team would have been crazy. And I also think he would have beaten out Joe Burrow in camp to win that starting job. But man, leave your comments down at the bottom. Like and subscribe. But man, this has been an interesting side of the paradigm. I would love to hear you guys. I would love to hear you guys take on it, man. Who's better in your opinion, JD5 or Joe Burrow 9, man? Like I said, man, coming back soon. I'll give a recap again next Saturday on the Texas A&M game when we beat the shit out of the Aggies, like we always do. But man, this has been good, man. This is my quick recap of the Georgia State game, and once again, man, go Tigers.